but one they're all up for.
A stray dog, which was adopted by British soldiers in Iraq, has been rescued and flown back to the UK in the hope he'll be rehomed. Troops had to leave Sandbag and his pal Hesco the cat in Basra when they pulled out of the country earlier this year. But a Facebook appeal raised enough money to pay for them and 2 other animals to be brought back to safety.
Out on operations, there are few creature comforts for the troops hundreds of miles from home. So when Sandbag the dog was born on the Qasr base in Iraq, the soldiers of the Queen's Royal Hussars soon adopted him. And it wasn't long before he was following them out on patrols. But when they left the dog days of summer behind them, they also had to leave behind their mascot, amid fears he'd be shot by locals or killed by the other dogs. Attempts to bring him back to Britain initially failed, but then a Facebook appeal was launched. And now, with almost 75,000 members, with the help of 3 charities, the Blue Cross, the SWHP and the Baghdad Cat Rescue, they've successfully raised enough money to fly Sandbag and 3 other animals back to safety in the UK.
Oh, it's just wonderful that we were able to do this because, you know, it's not for us. It's for the dogs and it's for the soldiers that were just so overjoyed to see them coming home. And you know, I've spoke to one of the soldiers the other day, and he was just congratulating us for being able to do this and just saying what it means to them, because obviously when they're out in Iraq, you know, they don't have an awful lot of home comforts around. And
they're incredible morale boosters. When you're a serving soldier, you're 3,000 miles from home, from your family, all your loved ones and your friends. It's a piece of home, and you do form bonds. They tell you not to, but you do form attachments to these animals. And you know, you've taken a wild animal and you've made it trusting of people, reliant on you for food, but you can't then expect it to go and be able to fend for itself if you leave it there.
By the time QRH came home this summer, base legend had it that Sandbag had survived being shot no less than 5 times. And he'd also become proud dad to son Dirtbag. Also living on the base at Qasr, the Royal Navy's own mascot, Royal, now a very pampered pooch. And soldiers had also taken in a cat, Hesco, named after the blast walls she likes to curl up and go to sleep on. All the animals have now been brought back to these kennels where they'll spend the next 6 months in quarantine. Louise is an ex-TA soldier who now spends her time trying to rescue and rehome as many of the hundreds of Iraqi strays as she can. But she knows that Sandbag and his friends are special.
Every single one of them is just as important. It just happened to be that these 4 were the ones that have been at the base for several years, being looked after by British troops.
For now, they'll stay in the doghouse, but they're hoping it won't be a dog's life forever. Kaya Lark, BFBS reports at the Precious Pets Quarantine Centre in Gloucestershire.